Good morning, buddies. Good Friday morning. It's 7:50 a.m. I'm on my way to work, and it seems like every time I'm driving in the rain, I suddenly get a memory and think, oh, that's a good story time. So I've got another story for you guys. And again, it has to do with one of my first jobs when I was overseas. Not in Kuwait, but when I was in Mosul. So this is about, I'll think of his, I know his name, I can't think of it off the top of my head. But when we were overseas, a lot of the times I forgot that water pond's there. A lot of times the admins, and I was an admin there, was in charge of sponsoring new employees. And that's what they called it, sponsoring. And that means you're the person, the contact person that the new employee, the new hire, is in contact with about what to expect. So this one guy came on board, or came on the radar as an incoming, but he wasn't completely sold yet. So I was not only being his sponsor by answering questions, I was pretty much keeping him hyped up about not changing his mind. And he was coming over to be a logistician. He was going to come over and do logistics, which basically that position at a man camp in Mosul, Iraq, was making sure don't let me get my windshield dinged again, was making sure the camp was running correct. He would handle getting the life support contractor to fulfill like plumbing issues, construction issues, HVAC issues, and he'd also be issuing billeting and such. So that's what he was in charge with. But when I was sponsoring him, oh my God, he is the most memorable person that I ever sponsored because of the sheer volume of contact I had with him. This guy peppered me with all the classic questions, the classic that everybody peppered you with, that was so annoying, and I didn't want to make fun of them because I was in the same place at one time. Although when I was heading over, I had no sponsor. I don't know why it worked out that way, and I had nobody to answer questions, and I figured it out on my own. So thankfully, I did not ever ask anybody, will water be available? Will we be allowed to drink water whenever we want? Is the water free? Where can I get the water? How often can I have it? Where are the locations for it? Just this guy peppered me, hounded me with questions for months. Months this guy gave me questions. Well, how many pounds can I take in my suitcase on the plane? That was a question that just annoyed me so bad, because those people that took the exact amount of pounds that was allowed were always the people that needed help carrying their luggage, because they brought the maximum allowable pounds when it just wasn't necessary. So after months of sponsoring this guy, the day came that he arrived and he was there. And I was like, yes, finally it's done. He's here. He's going to be off my back. No. First day on the job, and he arrived there mid-morning. And by arriving, I mean he got there from Kuwait. So I don't even remember how long he was in Kuwait. He could have been there a day or more. So because he got there mid-morning, you know, and he wasn't like literally put right to work. We actually had visitors at that time, so he was able to go around the base visiting with these people that was visiting us with their logistician. So it was kind of perfect. He kind of had like handover. He had somebody to talk to about what his job was going to be. It was perfect. So I'm like, great, he's going to be with this guy. He's going to be out of my hair. I'm not going to have to answer questions, blah, blah, blah. No. He kept coming to me, telling me he didn't feel good. And me, I was so busy, I didn't have time. And I know that sounds terrible. But bear with me. In my experience up to that point, every single new person, first day on the job, had butterflies in their tummy. They were homesick. They were exhausted. They hadn't had enough sleep. They hadn't got used to the food. They had a tummy ache. And so it always worked itself out throughout the day. They'd get better. They'd get acclimated. Blah, blah, blah. But he just wouldn't let it go. And inwardly, not outwardly, I didn't want to make him feel bad. I didn't want to be a jerk. Inwardly, I was so annoyed. I was too busy to stop what I was doing to rub somebody's tummy and say, poor mama's baby, it's going to be okay. You know, I didn't have time for that. So it just kept on to where I turned to the officer in charge. I said, hey, I just remembered his name. And I'm not going to say it. I went to the officer in charge and I said, hey, new guy is not feeling good, and just so that he can have peace of mind, I'm going to let a doctor tell him he's okay. So I'm taking him down to the combat support hospital to get him checked out. I'll be back as soon as I can. Well, because we had guests visited, and by guests, a guest is usually like a general or something. I don't even remember who it was. I just remember we had a bunch of people from headquarters, which was Spiker, or also known as Tikrit, and we were like literally hosting people, and so I was busy. I didn't have time to walk away from the office. I didn't have time to walk away from the man camp and not be a point of contact for all these guests. So I put him in the car and I drove him down to the combat support hospital, and he goes into like their emergency room thing, and he's gone, I don't know, 10 or 15 minutes. And I'm thinking, yeah, this is going to be wrapped up soon, you know. So I get on the VoIP phone that they have there, and I call the man camp, and I'm talking to him, to the officer in charge. And I'm saying, okay, just letting you know, we're here. He's been back there about 15 minutes or so. I'm guessing any minute he's going to. And at that moment, this guy goes rolling past on a gurney, howling like a banshee. There are doctors standing on the gurney as it's rolled past. And the, what's his name? Oh, I forgot what they called him. I can't remember the name of what they called him. Anyway, one of the doctors is coming towards me. And he's saying, we're taking him into emergency surgery. So, as this is going on, I continue my conversation. And I'm like, hey, he's been here for about 15 minutes or so. By now, he's going into surgery. Yeah, he has kidney stones. And they're so bad, they're going to take him out it was kidney stones, or was it appendix? Whatever it was emergency surgery. So I told, was it Commander Deberard? Or was it, I can't remember who my boss was. It was Tim Cole. It was Navy Commander Tim Cole is who it was. So I felt terrible. Terrible. I felt like the most horrible person in the world, because inwardly to myself, thank God, I was saying, I don't have time for this crybaby stuff. I don't have time for a full-grown man that is homesick. I don't have time for this, and come to find out, he really was sick. Oh, I have incredible remorse over that, but I'm so glad, and this is the crazy thing. Here's the crazy part about the whole thing. The whole time I'm inwardly thinking, what a baby, what a freaking crybaby. But when everything was said and done, I was the hero for taking him to the hospital. I was the hero. And nobody knew that. Inwardly, I was like, oh my God, this guy's killing me. So, we had a pretty good friendship over the couple years he worked there with me, because we were in the same office. And pretty nice guy. Matter of fact, we joked one day about how for the rest of our lives we're going to be on our Christmas card list. And I sent him and his family a Christmas card that year. He was home on R&R for Christmas that year, and came back, and we laughed about the Christmas card. The next year, again, he was home on leave for Christmas, and there was a big stink about it. Not from me. I didn't say nothing, but somebody made note that he was given leave 2 Christmases in a row when there was a lot of soldiers, actual soldiers, who didn't get to go home, especially not on the holidays. So I never said a word about it. I was, as some people would say, just the admin. So I didn't say crap about it. But I sent him the yearly Christmas card, and when he got back, the very first thing he said was, my wife didn't like that Christmas card. Don't send things to my house. Don't ever send something to my house. It was really weird how it turned. It turned from not being a Christmas card, which I sent it to his family. I didn't send it to his wife. So I don't know why his wife would have got her nose bent out of shape. But just like the one before, the year before, I sent it to Robert, what's his name, and family. Or I think it was Mr. and Mrs. actually, because I'm always real careful about that. But anyway, I just only could think that it had something to do with maybe one of those types of marriages where they really enjoy alluding to the possibility that somebody's being flirted with. Maybe, I don't know. I'm sure everybody's had that couple in their life where their romance, so to speak, let's just say, their romance is piqued by the possibility or the impression of somebody wanting their wife or their husband or something. I don't know. I don't know. It was the weirdest thing ever, because that Christmas card was fine and dandy one year, and the next year it wasn't. So I don't know. But anyway, that's my story time of the day. I'm at work now, and it is 8:02. I'm supposed to be clocked in by 8 o'clock, but something soul crushing happened yesterday, and so now I don't care. Don't care. And I've got a secret that I've been cooking on for about 60 days now. Some of you guys know about it, but my sister and niece know nothing about it, so I'm hoping it works out. I just spoke to somebody 2 days ago who is the connection for this, and they're like, no, you're good. Just hang in there. It'll be just a minute. Just hang in. So, I think this is going to happen, but I kind of want to make it a surprise to my sister and my niece. But had the bonus I thought I was getting actually happened, I wouldn't be having this conversation, and I would be clocked in long before now. But But you know what? In all reality, no lie here, when we were told that we were going to get $1,000 bonus if we successfully billed $1 million in the month of June, had I been told that I was not eligible because I had not fulfilled my 90-day obligations, I would have worked just as hard. I absolutely would have worked just as hard. That's who I am. That's who I am. But for whatever reason, it was not said. It was not said. I was in the meeting when this bonus was announced. Meaning I was there before it started, while it was in the process, and then when we completed the goal, I was part of it. So I was absolutely stunned when 50 days into my job, this comment is said about how if you were on this message group and you're receiving this message, then you are eligible for the bonus unless you have not completed orientation. Well, orientation is what they do on the first day of the job. That I've heard that word orientation one time in 50 days, and it was the first day on the job when I was given orientation. I was told that I have a 90-day probation before benefits kick in. That's understood. But not one word was said. Not one word was said that you're going to work really hard for this bonus, but you're not going to get the bonus. Not one word was said. Not one was said. So this really awesome thing is about to happen, and it's not going to be a big deal for this company. It's not going to bother them one bit because, according to them, I'm still in orientation. So they call 90-day probation, they call it orientation. So, when you're a new hire and you haven't completed 90 days, they can change their mind and let you go at their will. They don't have to give you a reason within that 90 days to let you just say, we changed our mind, we're not going to keep you on, bye. Well, goes both ways. An employee within that 90 days, they are not obligated to give 2 weeks notice. Have a good weekend. Bye, y'all.